mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad.
Well, welcome home, family. It's your mom and your father over here. And I want you all, family, I want you all to close your eyes right now. Everybody, take a deep breath and close your eyes. And I want to take you on a journey. Let's get into a fantastical journey right now. Imagine you in a world where you find your one true love. But truly, you find the love of your life.
Okay.
You decide.
Try to picture that. Okay.
You find the love of your life, and you get engaged. You are so excited about getting married. You introduce this person to your friends, your family. They're thrilled, and then one day, days before the wedding, they show up and tell you that they don't want to marry you anymore and that you'll never be the one. And then somehow you find out that moments after they end it with you, they look into the lens of a camera or even say this to a friend and they say, I am so relieved. I am so
relieved. And also, it feels like a weight has been lifted off of me. He also said that kind of when they were...
Family.
Oh, I'm so relieved, and I feel like a weight has been... Now, generally, I'm so relieved, and a weight has been lifted off of me.
Is, after you relieve yourself.
Well, okay, there's that. I don't think most people say that. They come out of the restroom and go, I feel like a weight has been lifted off of me. I mean, that's insane, but I do that. You're right. It's generally when something horrible is going on in your life.
But of course.
Right? It's like something horrible.
Like a terrible bathroom situation.
Yeah, like a big poo. No, but seriously, sorry about that. You can bleep that. But, it's general. Like, what are some examples in real life where you're like, I feel like a weight has been lifted off?
I mean, any horrific situation, or even
it's usually usually related to like high levels of stress. You know what I mean? And then also, like, thank God that's over. Like, I finally got, I paid all my taxes. Oh, I feel like a weight's been lifted off of me.
I ended up leaving the job that's been torturous for years.
It's been a brutal 4 years at this company. I feel like a weight has been lifted off of me.
The boss was terrible. It was a horrific work environment, and I left. But Joe said this about ending a relationship with Madison moments after he ended it with
Also,
her.
it's also like when you say, if you leave a relationship that's been like horrific for 3 years and it's been fighting nonstop,
but of course,
not the day after you pick out your wedding dress.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm sure there are probably people out here listening being like, hey, I was in a terrible relationship. And so, you know what? I see you and I feel you and I understand you. But for Joe to say that after being with Madison for about 2.5 weeks. Okay.
Well, he's a really strange cat because it's like his whole thing is like he's always kind of dodgy, right? He doesn't really say how he feels,
right?
But then he'll say the gnarliest stuff. So it's like the weird thing where he's always kind of going, I don't know. He's kind of always dodgy, and then he'll like talk mad crap on Nick, right? And be like, I hate him. He's annoying. Like he'll say the worst thing about Nick that anyone did. And then he's Mr. Dodgy. Oh no, it's just, we're just not. And instead of saying after they're like clearly in the ITMs going, hey, how do you feel about after a breakup? Going, you know what? She's an amazing person. And I just think truly we're not meant to be together.
Exactly.
He goes, oh God, I'm so relieved. And it's like a big weight has been like, that's the worst thing you could say. So he's weird in that like he's really bad at lying, but then he never says the truth.
You know what? You saying this is hitting a specific nerve for me too, because when I was watching their breakup, I was bewildered when she kept saying to him, why are you breaking up with me? What is it? What happened? He wouldn't answer it. But then when she said, it must have been this process, maybe in the real world, without the pressure, we would have worked out without marriage looming. And he decides to say then, no, it wasn't the marriage, it wasn't the pressure. In the real world, I wouldn't have gotten to know you. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God.
Right, so much worse. Being like, I would have never looked at you if you were in real life. Right?
Like, if you're not going to say anything, then don't. Then be dodgy and don't say anything. But then you're going to choose to say that when she's trying to kind of like let the air out of the tires a little bit and be like, you know what, it probably was just this, just trying to make herself feel better. Like, it probably was just this experience. He goes, the marriage is too fast. And he goes, no, absolutely not. It has nothing to do with that.
Then he also says, and he's like, he yawns.
Oh, he yawns. Yeah. Because he's bored.
Yeah, and then he goes, we shouldn't keep dragging this out. And instead of saying we shouldn't keep dragging this out because, I just feel like we should be respectful and just walk away. He goes, because you're not the one. Not we.
Because
I don't see a future for us.
I don't want to keep hurting you.
Yeah, you're not the one. So he like makes it even more personal by being like, something wrong with you, not me. Like he couldn't even lie. He couldn't even be a good enough liar to go, sorry, it's me, not you. He goes, it's you. It's like the weirdest, it's like the worst combo of bad liar and then ends up making it worse than if you just would have told the truth.
As Madison literally fell to the floor, she crumpled into the fetal position in the kitchen. You know that man went straight to have a drink with his friends and watch the game and never spoke her name again. His friends go, so what happened with Madison? Oh, he broke up. Anyway, so how about those
and he was flirting
Dodgers,
with girls.
I don't know.
He was flirting with girls. He tried to get a date that night. Don't even get it twisted. He was seen out talking to girls. Like, there's no question.
I have become obsessed with Joe. Like, I have an obsession, and it's not for good reasons. It's not a good reason
it's not
why
like
I love Joe.
You love his behavior. It's just like
become
fascinating.
Obsessed with watching this man on my screen. I don't know what it is. Like I said earlier, a couple episodes ago, there's something about him that triggers every tiny part of me, and I am obsessed. I'm talking about Joe with everybody I come in contact with. People who haven't seen Love is Blind, they're like, yeah, that came out weeks ago. Why are you talking about Joe and Madison now? I'm like, I gotta talk about this guy.
I think it's because it's pure stress. I think it's watching someone trying to navigate so impossibly not living in their truth.
Yeah.
And not telling the truth. You know what I mean? So it's watching someone just at every corner not be able to like just be honest. It's very fascinating.
So we're recapping today episodes 10 and 11 of Love is Blind season 9. And I'll tell you what, these episodes made me nauseous. I was nauseous.
Dude, the double breakups, like everyone melting.
There's no way that anyone is getting married, correct? And if anyone does get married, there's no way it's working. Like, there's no way any of these couples are working out.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one couple that like seems to get along and just maybe aren't the right fit, and that's the Megan and Jordan situation where like they treat each other with respect. No one's being rude to each other. No one's like, you know what I mean? Even their fights are just kind of like disagreements. So they're very cool, like in the way that they treat each other well and they're nice to each other. It's like maybe they're not the right fit, but everyone else is definitely like fucking pissed and like low key icked out on the other person, and it's a ticking time bomb, dude.
I swear, other than Sparkle and Jordan, everyone hates each other. Like, I think they actually...
even Allie and Anton, even though they're not like lashing out at each other, I'm getting big ick vibes from her.
There's underlying hatred.
He's panic mode. He's like, I'm at any moment she's gonna leave. She's like, ugh.
But I think there's like a disgust. I think everyone
she's grossed out by him.
I think everyone is disgusted by each other. Yes. Like, genuinely, if we're being real, I think everyone's disgusted by each other. Like.
Well, let's get into it.
Let's get into it because there's a lot to cover, okay? But first, family, let's take a quick pause. So, quick check. Is anyone else staring at their phone right now? And I'm not talking about how Annie was staring at her phone during that naked heart conversation. I'm talking staring and thinking, wow, I have the best pictures in here and none of them are actually being enjoyed because that absolutely used to be me. Everything lived on my camera roll, birthdays, random Ember moments, stuff I never wanted to lose. And that's exactly why I am obsessed with Aura Frames. Aura Frames takes all those photos you love and puts them where they belong out in real life. We've given Aura Frames to grandparents, siblings, friends who live far away, and it instantly becomes part of their everyday life. Not a thing you unwrap once and forget about. It's a daily reminder that you're connected. It's by far my favorite gift to give to loved ones. It's meant so much. It's so special. You like cherish it genuinely.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really couldn't be easier too. You download the Aura app, connect the frame to Wi-Fi, and you're done. Like, that's basically it. It takes like 2 minutes. You can upload unlimited photos and videos, invite other family members to add to it, which is what we do. There are 0 subscriptions or hidden fees. And the quality is really unreal. The photos actually look like prints, not screens. Plus, you can preload photos before the frame even arrives, which is elite gift giving behavior, if you ask me.
Elite, truly. Also, underrated detail, every frame comes in a gorgeous gift box with no price tag, so you can skip wrapping entirely and still look like you really nailed it. I really appreciate that. And on top of it, the frames family, they're stunning. They look beautiful. They look great in your home. Aura is that gift for people who swear they don't need anything and then immediately text you crying after it's plugged in. It's sentimental, but not cheesy. It's thoughtful, but not complicated. It's the kind of gift people actually use. Like I said, it's our favorite gift to give. It is so special. It's meant so much to our family, okay? So here's the deal. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code MOMDAD at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code MOMDAD. auraframes.com, promo code MOMDAD. This deal is exclusive to our listeners, and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Okay, family. So before we break down episodes 10 and 11 of Love is Blind Season 9, just a reminder that on Friday, this Friday, we have an episode coming out where we're going to be covering the weddings and wedding, we'll see what happens, and the reunion. So tune in on Friday.
At least ceremonies.
The ceremonies.
Some type of ceremony.
Whatever's going to be happening.
Who knows if they'll get there.
And then the reunion, which I'm very excited to see because I have some questions and I'd like to see some people answer them.
Joe and what's her name? I always forget her name. Patrick's.
Oh, Casey.
Yeah, I feel like that'll be really, I really want to see some of that.
Yeah, I have a feeling Casey's not going to show up.
No way.
I don't think Casey's going to show up. I'm going to be very upset about it.
Yeah.
And Joe will be so nervous.
He's so uncomfortable.
He will be just rambling. You won't believe.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild. So I'm very excited. So tune in on Friday for that. And then next week we have a special holiday episode where I don't know what's going to make it a holiday episode, but we're going to make it a holiday episode. And you're going to send in, right? Call homes if you'd like to, having any sort of questions, concerned relationship advice. Evan suggested last time talking about any wild holiday family stories so that we can all trauma bond together.
Yes.
We're going to have some fun holiday times together. So send those in, call home. I can't wait. It'll be nice to have a cozy episode. And just a moment away from some of these unbelievably uncomfortable couples.
Yes, absolutely. Looking forward to it. Love you all. Let's continue on.
And per usual, here comes the disclaimer.
I thought that was the disclaimer. That's the scheduling.
That's the scheduling.
Welcome to the most boring podcast in the world, where we go through our schedules for the week. You know, it really does.
Oh, that would get me hot and bothered talking about the schedules.
It really is just like, it's so funny how there's always one who's just like, when is this over? What do I have to talk to this? Then I'll forget about it and then we'll have to tell me it later, which I totally understand is lame, is not awesome. But my God, do I hate a conversation talking about schedules. And
nothing gets me hotter than a schedule. I would honestly listen to podcasts where people just rattle off their schedules. It would probably make me feel comforted.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, so this is what we have to do today. And for the rest of the week.
That's kind of what everyone does on Instagram. A day in the life. All right, guys, I wake up and I get my thing. Like, it's kind of
and that satiates me.
Yeah, I hate it.
People love
no, but that's like the biggest category. So I'm the crazy one.
Yeah. We all love a day in the life. We love a sketch.
Whoa. A day in the life, the get ready with me. It's all just like life. It's all just like, here's my schedule for the day.
I want you to know that the only reason that people tune into this podcast is to hear my schedule breakdown.
Okay, all right.
And then also to hear my disclaimer, which is that even though this season came out now months ago, Madison's falling asleep. We know nothing of these people. We are now only up to episode 11. We know no spoilers. And if anything has come out about these people, we don't know about it. So you're just kidding because I can't look online. Blah, 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 blah. We don't know anything. Blah, 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 blah. So we're saying bad things about a nice person or good things about a bad person. We don't know.
We should put that, it's like when it's like
I know.
Like that, the terms and conditions apply. Like they should put that at the bottom. It's like, we don't know anybody.
Maybe my personal merch should be like schedule and disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
That I don't know how I feel about that.
I just sounded like a name. It sounded like if you had a brand name for that.
Don't try to change my schedule and disclaimer merch because it's perfect.
That really is. I'm so sorry. Sometimes it's like I'm just too creative. All right, let's continue on. Okay,
let's break it down couple by couple. And can we just talk Joe and Madison? Can we talk my Joe obsession?
They're the hit anyway.
I just want to. I gotta talk Joe. I can't. And we start off with Joe about to meet Madison's family, and I don't know if you noticed this, but he immediately asks her if he has a booger and has her look. And I believe this is part of his strategy, trying to do things to ick her out to leave him. Like I can almost guarantee.
See, I took it as like she can't see the booger. You know what I mean? That was the problem. He's not even remembering that she has like eyesight stuff. So he's like, she's like, I don't know, I can't see it.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Oh my God, that's so insensitive.
So he's just forgetting that that's even a possibility all the time.
Well,
too.
then there's
He's
that
so
too.
not
oh my
tuned in.
God, I wasn't even thinking about that. That is so insensitive.
Of course.
Also, well, there's that, but I also think he's doing it to ick her out.
Almost, or just like, interesting. So you think he's saying, look at my boogers, so hopefully that will gross you out.
I think it's a subconscious thing that's also maybe not subconscious that he's doing. Like, I can guarantee you in their home, in their apartment, that he probably like is taking a dump with the door open on
farting all over the place just to see if
it'll
out
to see what he can do to send her running for the hills. Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's doing it all. So I think when he's just kind of like, check this booger out. Number one, to your point,
eating
he's
pizza
being
like on his
completely
stomach
not thinking about her eyesight issues. And then number two, he's like, check this boog out to kind of ick her out. But she's not icked out. In fact, she probably would kiss his booger.
No, it was the opposite, because then after booger moment, she goes like, I just want to cuddle you and hold you and whatever. And he goes like, ugh, we're at a restaurant. Like he's so, I mean, like, let's just say it. He's so incredibly not into her.
Oh God.
That he can't even fake it.
It's gotten to that point now.
Like it's just he's so like, I can't, that like he can't even go along with just like a little moment where I know I would throw you on this table, haha, and then continue on. He's just like,
that would even be extreme. You could even just say,
true. Like,
I know, baby.
I know, baby. I want to hold you too. He's just like, we're at a restaurant. It's like, oh my God.
I'm like, you just told her to get eyes on your booger.
Yeah.
And she wants to like hug your booger and hug you and cuddle you.
She truly really likes him. I mean, God, talk about low bar when it comes to his effort levels. I mean, she likes him and he doesn't do anything.
And then
fascinating.
Worst case scenario happens for him. Worst case, which is family walks in and they are utterly loving, supportive,
sister is like
and adoring of him.
Cheerleader of the year. She's like, what's up? Oh my God, you guys are amazing. Everything's amazing. But then she says this, when am I gonna get babies? And it's like, he's just like, oh, because he's freaking out. Dude, he keeps trying to get someone to sabotage this damn relationship, right? He's hoping the mom comes in and says something weird, is awkward, doesn't approve of him, so that he can be like, I'm sorry, it's just a nightmare.
Anything. But instead he gets a family.
It's the red carpet of if they liked each other, couldn't gone better.
It couldn't have been smoother. Like you said, sister-in-law is literally like, that's my brother-in-law, like chanting his name. Mother is like, you two, you're so beautiful together. We love you. Champagne. No hard questions. No. Only positivity.
No. Support,
just like, you
love.
guys are perfect. You're wonderful. And this also then comes even too after they ask, what have you learned about Madison outside of the pods? And Joe has the audacity to say that she's crazy.
Yeah.
And then he goes, in a good way.
Yeah, he's like,
in a very, very good way.
Yeah, it's great. We always love crazy the best way. And the thing is, and he goes, and it's like one of those things where like, if we get into an argument, like I'll never win.
So like,
that's cool.
That's great.
you know. And the mom's like, yeah, she can be kind of hard nosed. And he's like, yeah, it's great because she's crazy and like it's a nightmare to be around her. So like it's awesome.
And that you see Madison, she's
always shrinking with him. She's always feeling
She shrunk. She looked at her facial expression when he said she's crazy.
To the mom of the daughter you just met, you tell her daughter's crazy, but kind of in a good way, and that you lose every argument because she's like so stubborn. It's like, of all the things you could have said.
And the moment, Evan, that absolutely like broke me in half was when her mom started getting emotional and was like, listen, Madison could lose her vision in a year. She could lose it 40 years from now, but I want to know that someone will be there to take care of her. And it like broke me. Like, this mom is so excited for her daughter to have met somebody because her daughter's been wanting to meet somebody. And then for a parent to feel like someone's going to be there for her in her hard, in upcoming potentially hard times for her. And Joe is just like, yeah, I'm not going to leave her. I won't bail on her. I promise. Interesting comment though, was when he was talking about his last relationship.
I wrote this down.
Okay.
This was very interesting.
It's very interesting because he was like, yeah, I was in a relationship for 5 years. I was miserable.
Yeah.
But I thought that's just what it is.
Right.
He's like, and then I waited until the very last minute to end the engagement.
Right.
This is a pattern for this guy.
Well,
big time.
Big time. And it's interesting because what he was just saying is like, I'm miserable now.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of what he was admitting. It wasn't even like cryptic.
I think he even said that at the very
Yeah, because he was kind of like,
end.
because he kind of said, but even the end, I would just like, in that moment, he was like, yeah, my only reference is to be miserable in relationships. But he didn't follow it up with, and this relationship has given me new eyes to realize that I can be happy. It was just, all I know is about being miserable in relationships. And then he leaves it there. It's like, and so he was just admitting to the fact of like, I'm miserable now.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I'm doing here. And then she even said, don't blindside my daughter.
I know.
And then he does it. So it was like,
and he said he wouldn't.
and then she later on goes, I never saw an ick with him at all. There was no issue at all. I have an ick barometer too. And I know when guys are bad. And this guy was great all the way. It's like,
when she said,
do you think it's just because he's handsome? It's like pretty privilege energy that like they all kind of just thought he was handsome, and so they just kind of let it go. Like,
I'm not trying to be an asshole.
Because I'm going like, it's not like he did anything impressive. It's not like he was like charming. Maybe they cut a bunch of shit out because I'm going, he kind of offended her. He kind of was rude to her. He never said anything nice about her, and they were all just like fantastic.
I'm not trying to be an asshole. I don't think he's that attractive of a guy.
Well, I'm not even
it's not like
saying
he's
that.
some like
I'm just
beauty
saying,
that we're like, well, you know what? Nothing
Sure.
that he does is going to bother us because, you know, it's Jonathan Bailey. Like, you know,
Sure.
it's like, no, come on now.
I don't know. Yeah, it was just weird. I wasn't seeing what they were seeing. I mean, maybe it's just I'm too infected. I know too much, so it's tough. But
potentially. Oh, when mom said that she's got the ick barometer and he had no red flags, I was like, babe, I think your barometer is broken because that guy was just dripping in red flags.
100%.
But anywho. Speaking of that,
yeah,
mom says that when she's at the wedding dress fitting.
Which
so they
is
end up
when
having
we really see it go down.
Yes, we end up having the wedding dress fitting, and simultaneously the guys are getting their tux fittings.
Yeah.
Of course, Vanessa and Nick are there to help guide them along emotionally.
Their second day of work this year.
Their second day of work this year. There for them emotionally. You know, and on the one hand, here's Madison with her mom. They're so excited. She's crying. She can't wait to get married. It's like all roses and joy and unicorns and flowers and all the things. And then on Joe's side, while all the men are talking about how confident they are, Joe's like, well, half of me is elated and half of me wants to jump out the window.
Yeah, jump out the window.
And then
that's
he
what
goes,
he said to the group.
That's what he said to the group. And then he goes, you know, everyone's got like certain things. Everyone's going through certain things. And everyone kind of.
By the way, no one had said this. Like everyone was like, "I'm really excited for this. This is amazing." And then he's just like, "That's great. This is a nightmare, but this is great, though."
You guys are all living a version of hell too.
But
correct?
he made a statement. He did say like, it's kind of wild that everyone's so sure. Like he did kind of go like, I feel strange that I'm the only one freaking out, and everyone else seems kind of sure of themselves. But you know, everyone has their like he was kind of like,
what? To his credit, they're all full of shit because they're all
100%.
going through the struggles and they're not sure.
No.
The only person who I believed in that moment is Jordan. Other than Jordan,
I agree.
everyone's on edge. Everyone's on ice. They're all going through it.
I think Anton is.
I don't think Anton.
I think Anton's all in. I think he just is afraid. I honestly, well, we'll talk about that, but
my feelings have been shifting with Anton because there was a lot of conversation about what his past was like, and I'm like, what is this past? I have questions. So anyway,
all right, I have thoughts too.
We'll talk about Anton for a second, in a few minutes. But
this is Melt City, though. This is the beginning of full Melt City.
Full Melt City. So he's got his friends who are there for him. I found interesting too that one of his friends, when he was describing Joe, he goes, I think we all know he's a bro.
Yeah, which was interesting. And at first I couldn't tell if he was saying like, he's my bro. I went back and watched.
He said a bro.
Right, but some people say like, oh, Evan's a bro. Like he's one of my bros.
But he said, I think we all know he's a bro, so it's important for him, for his family to come in with a seal of approval. I'm like, does that mean he's saying
or if it's
that's
like a bro, like
part of bro code, like bro
I don't know.
Code
either way,
is like your family must approve.
Yeah, right. Either way, it works. It's also. I just want to make a quick note of his lashing out. Like, dude, when he does this a lot, like when he gets in a certain way, he gets kind of pissed and mean.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the second one, but the first one was against Mark. When Mark goes, because he was talking and he goes,
Mark.
What?
Who's Mark?
I mean, sorry, not Mark. Nick. Sorry.
Mark.
I don't know. My brain freaked out there. The first one was against Nick.
That's so funny to me.
Mark. I don't know, Mark. It's just, I'm already becoming that guy, old guy that just goes Chipotle.
Mark Lachey.
Mark Lachey, his brother.
Part of 97 Degrees.
Okay, we got it. We get it. Okay, but the first one was against Nick when he goes, we all have our things. He's talking in front of everybody, and then Nick goes, well, what are some of the things? And he goes, Jesus Christ, Nick, a lot of questions coming from you. What am I on? It's like, he kind of immediately, it was like, his reaction was like over the top. Mm-hmm. Like it was weird. He didn't go, oh man, okay, I'm all kind of on the stand here. He went, oh, Jesus Christ, a lot of questions. It was like, okay, dude, like clearly we know you're sensitive right now. Clearly we know you're on edge, but it really, that, in my opinion, set the precedent of how bad it was when he kind of snapped at Nick.
And then when he was trying on, Tux is in a panic because he doesn't want to get married.
Remember the tie situation was unhinged.
One of the women there who was working was like, I can help you with this. And he was like, yeah, it's fine. He's like, I can tie it myself. And he's whipping it around.
And the lady's like, hey, no, I just do it for you. She's like, yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll just figure it out. I'll do it later.
And then one of his friends is like, so, is it becoming real? And he's like, Jesus Christ, with all these fucking questions. I'm like, oh no.
And then he just runs out the door.
Listen.
I mean, he was so stressed. When you're stressed, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of shows you who you truly are, because like you're on edge and you're not being like, you're not comforted and you're not in a comfortable space. I've never spoken to my friend like that. Like that's crazy.
Let me say, how we've talked about how in ITMs he's Mr. like, oh well, I don't know what to say and nervous, but then you get the clips of him like talking mad shit. Mm-hmm. I believe Joe is putting it on for the camera big time. Yeah. We get a few moments every once in a while. It's typically when he's drinking, where he's becoming like meanie, snappy guy. And in that moment, we saw real Joe, who was snapping at his friends, barging out, the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was wild.
And then he's gone.
He took off.
Gone. Like he's you could see him in his, first of all, his truck matches him so much. I don't know why I wanted to say that too, but it's just when you see someone getting in a car, you're like, that makes all the sense in the world. Mm-hmm. He's in his car. And you see the producers like trying to talk to him. You see everybody looking out the window like, oh shit. And that's when everyone knew like, this is bad.
Yeah. And listen, I get the feeling, well, I shouldn't say I get it because I've never been on reality TV, but I've heard from friends who have been on it, the feeling of how out of control these producers are, how brutal it can be. So I get the feeling of being like, I need to escape. I never fault anyone forever on a reality TV show being like,
I gotta get out of here.
Screw you guys, I'm leaving and being mad.
Of course not.
But it was him snapping at his friend that was like, okay.
And his friend didn't go like, hey man, what's going on with you? His friend went, so how's it feeling? His friend was like being so benignly kind. It was like saying, hey man, would you like some tea? He's like, get the fuck out of my face.
I have, before we talk about Joe and Madison's official breakup, I have a fantasy about one of his friends.
Okay.
And I want you to indulge me in this.
All right.
But first, we got to take a quick pause. So, family, we've been seeing lots of different homes on Love is Blind, right? We saw Joe's.
Yes.
We saw Joe's, but we saw also all sorts of different homes. But when you walk into someone's house and immediately think, this person has taste. That is Article energy. Article.com, baby. Article is truly the only place we've trusted with our home for years because every single piece we've gotten from them has just been chef's kiss. Our couch, dreamy dining room table, heavy, solid, stunning. Chairs, side tables, all of it feels intentional, timeless, and expensive while actually being affordable. Okay, the quality, the durability, Article makes it possible to have a beautiful, grown-up home that still survives kids, dogs, spills, and real life.
Yeah, their stuff totally holds up. Article has this curated range of mid-century modern, coastal, Scandinavian-inspired designs that somehow all work together, which makes decorating so much easier. There's no filler. Every piece feels thoughtfully designed, high quality, built to last. You can literally feel the difference right away. The weight, the craftsmanship, the clean lines. I'm a big fan of the weight. I feel like that's when you generally know. You know what I mean? You kind of move the table and you're like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Some quality here.
Quality.
And I love that everything mixes seamlessly. So even when you add new pieces later, it all feels super cohesive, very easy to work with.
Yeah. And let me make something very clear. We both do not have the interior design eye.
One of my greatest insecurities.
We neither of us have it, okay? But Article makes it so easy to put together a gorgeous space.
Yes.
We're so grateful for them, okay? And also the experience matters too. Article offers fast, affordable shipping across the US and Canada, plus optional professional assembly if you don't feel like playing guess which screw goes where, right? Their customer care team is available 7 days a week, and they even offer free interior design services if you need help pulling a space together. So incredible. And my favorite piece of mind detail, they have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee so you can shop confidently knowing you'll love what you bring home. Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. To claim, visit article.com/momdad and the discount will automatically be applied at checkout. That's article.com/momdad for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. If you're ready to make your home feel elevated, cozy, and timeless, Article is it. Okay, back to Joe and Madison. This is where my fantasy romance novel reading brain went, okay? When they were at the tux fitting, there were the two friends. One of them talking about him being a bro. The other friend, Nick asks, hey, like, how do you feel about Madison? And his name was Isaac.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And Isaac was like, I loved her.
Yeah.
And immediately there was something about Isaac's energy. I locked into it. He seemed gentle and sweet and handsome and kind of soft-spoken. And he was like, I loved her. And the way he said it, my brain right away was like, oh my God, he's in love with her.
Go.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Isaac is in love with Madison. It was one of those like, Madison, he's been right in front of you the whole time. It's Joe's friend. He's a good guy.
Every rom-com.
It's every rom-com. Like he cares about you. Run into the arms of Isaac. That's like all my brain right away was like, I can just picture Isaac, like her running into him a couple months later, you know, at a bar and him being like, how have you been? Are you okay? And like him always having a spark for her and him being like, Joe, what's wrong with you? Like you let go of the most amazing woman. I was feeling it in my bones.
I love this. I love
it's part
this,
of my fantasy. I want this for Madison. I want it for Isaac. I don't know him, but you know, maybe he sucks. He's
Stop asking questions. They're all just like rage. Just like, don't ask me a question.
Never ask me a question.
Let's get into the breakup.
So basically then we see the next moment with them is we see Madison on the phone with her mom being like, Joe left, he's gone. And she's crying. Gone. And then, you know, we see him, he's like rummaging through the kitchen looking for a snack before he officially ends.
Yeah, he's looking for pretzel bites or something before he breaks it up. He's going to need the carbs.
He says that he's like, hey, you know, what was interesting is when she's united with him, she's so understanding and like gives him a hug.
Incredibly sweet.
And
she's like, I got to sleep it off a little bit. And then she gives him a hug. I mean, realistically, there was only 1 or 2 moments where she got a little frustrated just for a moment. But the whole time, the thing that stood out to me was how gracious and sweet she was.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of shocking. Like, even when she said, I'm mad, she's like, I'm pissed off. It wasn't elevated. Maybe she was in shock, but it was just, she was so sweet the whole time.
I think the thing about Madison, which like hurt me watching this, is I felt like Joe brought out, like, of course, so much insecurity from her. So because of that, I feel like during their arguments, it was a little bit like, I'm not crying over here. Don't look at me. And then she's like, she's doing this whole push and pull with him. And
in previous episodes.
And it was so obvious too, where it was like, he clearly is not in, but you're trying to like push. There were so many things where watching it as a viewer, I was like feeling sometimes a little frustrated with Madison being like, girl, come on.
Like get your shit together so that he can't win over you.
Be the strong, powerful woman you are and shut this guy out.
Sure.
But my heart hurt for her because it's just as an example, and it shows you of when someone brings that out of you when they're not the person for you. When
100%.
he's bringing it out of her because he's doing all these things that are making her feel so insecure, and that like overwhelming feeling can bring out you know those traits. But I was so bewildered by, she was so like calm, cool, and collected, and she was like, well, you know, you said that if we go to the altar that you're gonna say no. And he says that, you know, the fitting was his breaking point. And like we mentioned before, she's like, well, what was it exactly about our relationship? Why? And he won't tell her. She does mention, what was interesting is she was like, it's interesting to me that this comes right after running into the singles. Is there somebody else? And he says, absolutely not.
And that's hard to know. I don't know if there is someone, but what I think
there definitely could be.
There definitely could be, but I think it's probably just more of like him being in the social. That probably didn't help. It's him just being around other couples and hanging out and people and talking and being like, this is not working for me. She was super gracious. He didn't give her anything.
No.
Like I think genuinely he just wasn't into her.
Yeah.
Like straight up. Like his whole thing from day one was like, I don't think he's attracted to her. That was the first thing. And then they didn't connect. They were fighting the whole time. So I think it was like, she knew it. She could sense it. But she also needed clarity. Like, hey, a week ago, it seemed like we were good. Everything's fine. We're talking. I get trying on my dress. And now all of a sudden you're gone. You're showing zero emotion, right? Which shows that he's never been into it. But then you could almost just see her sensing like, I need a little bit more details here, almost prepping me for my next relationship. Like,
for sure,
like I need to know so that like, as I continue forward, I just understand myself more and understand what's going on.
It's a level of closure that I think most all of us always want at the end of a relationship.
Yeah, you can tell she wasn't selling him on taking her back. It was almost just more like, it's like I failed the test or something in my brain. So I need to understand where I went wrong. Yeah. You could see that in her brain.
Tell me why. And then it got to a point where she was just like, I'm dying inside.
Right.
What will it be like for you to see me with another person? And he's literally like, I don't care. He's like, he's just trying to leave. And that was the moment where I go, okay, Madison.
Yeah, just wrap it up. Let's go.
Let's wrap it up with a bow. Act like you don't give a shit about this guy and be like, peace out, even if you're crumbling inside because you just, as the viewer, you saw him just not caring.
Well, she was trying to get something out of him. So she tried the graciousness, didn't work. She tried the like sob, didn't work. Mm-hmm. She tried the like pleading, didn't work. Like she was just like, I need to see you care at all about this. And she looked down and he went.
And that, interestingly enough,
shit.
I think was what she was doing the entire time. Anytime they'd have an argument,
to get a reaction.
It was because she just wanted an affirmation of that
something.
he felt anything for her. So she was trying all different avenues to get that response. It was really interesting for me to watch this because I saw myself in moments in Madison. And I'm like, I think I can tend to do that when I'm feeling like the person isn't giving me what they want, what I want from them, like reaction wise. I try different things, and watching Madison, I'm going, girl, you know what? You are an amazing woman. You're a strong woman. Just walk away. Just step up and walk away, or just, love yourself, be true to yourself. And instead of having to, try this angle and the crying and then the no and whatever. And I saw myself in that. So it was interesting to watch it. It was kind of a good reflection point for me to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I agree. Tough to watch. I felt bad for her. And then she was so gracious at the end. She's like, thank you for this. I mean, just imagine getting broken up from your fiance after you tried on the dress the next day and saying to them, thank you for being part of my journey. I really appreciate it. It's been really great to know you, and I'll always have love for you. It's like, wow. You could tell that she really, really loved him. And he 0% loved her.
Shout out to you, Madison, because
so sweet.
That I didn't relate to, because you know me, if the final breaking point, I'd be like going scorched earth. Yeah. I'd be like, well, this isn't gonna work. You shall pay. I would not be doing a gracious like, thank you for being part of our journey. Now, I hope that she gets her moment during the reunion. I hope that after watching all of this and time having passed, probably like a year since this all was filmed, I hope she feels peace and gets to have her moment during the reunion.
Agreed.
So that was a breakup. Can we talk about another breakup?
Yeah.
Nick and Annie.
Now, this last one we just witnessed was uncomfortable, but kind of normal, right? Like not normal as in like one person didn't love the other person anymore or never did, and the other person loved the person. That's kind of common that things like that happen. People fall out and fall in love, whatever. So it was like a breakup. It sucked, but it was a breakup that we either witnessed or been through, whatever. Now this next breakup was like an AI breakup.
That's a great way to put it.
Right?
Yes.
It was like if I typed into ChatGPT, like, what does a breakup look like? And it was just like kind of janky and weird. Like I had no idea what happened, what was happening. Right when I was on someone else's side, I was like, oh, never mind. Like, this is weird. It was one of the most strangely unemotional, but then emotional business breakups. Like I had no idea what happened.
So let's start from the top, which is where we start off with Nick and Annie post the Western Rodeo party, where he had the conversation.
Post another of the same exact drunken conversations they had.
Yes, but he had a conversation with Kate. And then remember, Allie had mentioned to Annie that Nick was actually like love bombing Kate, and then Annie wouldn't look at Nick, and that's how that episode ended. So we start in their living room, and Annie is clearly intoxicated. Yeah. And again, producers, literally get your shit together, like get control of the amount of alcohol that you're serving your cast members and keep it safe for them, because Annie was intoxicated. Yeah. And this conversation between her and Nick...
It was a copy-paste.
It was a copy-paste of
the last time she was drunk.
Exactly.
Which is this, you don't love me, you don't love me. And then he'd be like, no, I love you. She's like, yeah, exactly, you don't love me. And he's like, what?
Now, interestingly enough, though, I thought that the rage would come from the Kate conversation and what Allie said. And in this conversation, she's like, how was your talk with Kate? It went okay? Okay, good. And I'm like, hold on a second. Yeah. I'm like, Annie, that's where you should be digging. Because what you're about to find out once you watch all these episodes back is that Nick absolutely love bombed Kate and then was like declaring his love to her and then did a 1-2 switcheroo. Right. And you're going to be in shock. That's what you should care about. But she then was on her drunk. I mean, it was really hard to watch because it was like reminding me of, when you go into like a bathroom in a bar and there's like a sweet girl in the bathroom who's like super drunk and then she's just like, oh my God, I love you so much. And then she's like crying about the boyfriend. It's all over the place. Yeah. You're like, oh gosh.
It's that really drunk repetition thing that happens.
Yes.
Like when you're talking to someone that's very drunk and you're not very drunk and they keep repeating themselves because it's like amnesia. Like they say the word, they give you a hug, and then they do it again. Like it would like a good example is like oh man, I love you. I haven't seen you in so long. You're like a brother to me, dude. I haven't seen how you been. And like, oh, I've been good, man. Just this. He goes, that's awesome, dude. I freaking love you like a brother, dude. And he gives me a hug. Like, and you're kind of just on a loop unless you get away from them.
It's a loop.
She's in that loop of like, you don't even love me and you never will. And he's like, babe, I've been here this whole time. I love you so much. And she goes, I know you're the best and you're like everything I ever wanted and you'll never love me again. And it was just like, it was like a weird, and he's looking at like, what the hell are we doing this? But I will say, in that moment, super patient.
He was.
Both times
incredibly he was super patient. Don't like the guy, was super patient with her.
Incredibly patient.
Now, my question is, I have a few questions. Is he being patient because he's actually a patient guy who cares about her? Or is he being patient for the camera? I never know with Nick. I find it interesting that he always seems like very stone cold sober in all these moments. I think never out of control. I think he, on this show, whenever they've had parties and whatever, it seems like he doesn't really drink. Yeah. So he's like fully cognizant and aware of like, what he's saying, what's going on. And I'm like, is this because, he's like self-control on lock? He's being super careful about it. He's trying to be loving to her. Or is this him trying to make sure he is in control and like playing it up for the cameras? Mm-hmm. Because what I think is so interesting is that almost every single person on that cast has made a comment about how he's completely not genuine, how he's super fake. Yeah. And obviously we've had the conversations leading up to this about how atrocious he was in the pods and then how he seemed different out of the pods and how nobody likes him I feel like there's a lot to the story that we're missing.
He did a good job of covering his tracks.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone says he's fake, he's weird, or whatever. And then but he always did a really good job of just kind of never giving away too much. It was, for what is people are describing him as deceptive, he did a much better job than Joe. of shielding us from his true feelings or emotions or whatever.
He's politician vibes.
Very politician.
But my God, in the pods, he was so unhinged.
Yeah, it was always sex and always this and that. And that's what I mean. I think he was always kind of playing roles.
God, I can't figure it out.
But this really felt like a political marriage that was broken up with, because it was interesting. He used the conversation previously at the night as the catalyst for the breakup.
Yes.
Because he said, I said I never wanted to have that conversation again. And I meant it. So I think it's time for us to end it. It was like, whoa. You know what I mean? Most people say something like that, and they're like, that means don't do that. He literally said, if we have that again, we're done. And he goes, and we're done. And she's like, what? So he clearly was looking for a way out. Right, which is clearly what he found. Yeah. He got it. Yeah. Right? Joe was trying to find a way out. He was trying to get the family to hate him, something. He got his way out to make it look like it was kind of her fault. Right? So he got his way out, clearly. And so at first I was like, that's weird, cold, but what followed was her reactions. And that's what felt even stranger to me.
Oh, after he literally says to her, he's like, listen, I've been really happy with you, but honestly, last night, that was a breaking point for me. Getting to the altar, that's not a happy idea for me. And she's like, I want to get married. Please, let's just please try. And he says, the wedding is something I do not want to do. And then she's just kind of like, let yourself be happy. You're Nick fucking Amato. You do everything. Why not do this? And he's like, well, marriage is a cornerstone. And she's like, so is business. So is a home. Do it with me. And like, you looked at me, we were watching it separately, and you popped in then when I was watching it, and you're like, it was like she was trying to sell him a car. Like, it was a full business deal.
You're Nick fucking Amato. You deserve a BMW. You need to be in this car because you're a badass. And he's like, oh, yeah.
I'm like,
are you talking about yourself? Like, you deserve, like, what is happening right now?
I'm like, saying that a marriage is like a business or a home, like a contract.
And you deserve it because you're a badass.
It's like, what? And if you're going to do it, you got to try it. Try it with me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think marriage should be looked at in this form. But listen, this is what we've been getting from Annie from the very, very beginning.
Both of them.
But Annie specifically in the pods is like, I will do anything to get the ring.
Right.
All I want to do is be married. So for her, it's like doing the marriage is like buying a car.
Yes.
It's not actually like falling in love with somebody and being with that person. Because it was
always like, I'm the last sister to get married. And he was always like, I need to get married. They always had a very transactional, political feeling alliance, less of a relationship. She would do a better job trying to sell it physically by kind of getting up on him a little bit. But in general, it always felt very cold, very calculated, not warm at all. You never saw conversations go deeper than surface level. So the fact that the breakup was like this, I guess made sense, but also was just weird. Because then in the middle of it, she's trying to sell him. He goes, no, we need to stop. Let's not elongate this anymore. Then she starts texting someone, 90% he's out. Oh, okay, call me. We're filming. Like, it was like you're texting in the middle of your breakup percentages of how much this is going to work or not. Very strange behavior. Very little tears on both sides. 0 on his, slight on hers, just for a moment.
Well, I'll be real with you, okay? So yeah. I think the reason that she was not sobbing, because she had a moment where all of a sudden she was like, this isn't fair. No.
Right.
And her emotion picked up. I think the only reason that it wasn't bigger for her was because she was fucking hung over.
Oh, interesting.
She's probably having an insane headache. She probably feels like she's about to puke. You know how you feel when you're hungover? The fact that he sat with her the next morning after this argument and he said, oh, that was lovely having brunch. Wasn't it nice? Brunch was great, wasn't it? And she's like, yeah. Last night, so sorry for last night. That was crazy, but brunch made me feel better. That was great. And then he goes, yeah, by the way, I'm breaking up with you. To have brunch and then break up with someone is a wild behavior.
Bro.
to
Wild.
Have a full sit-down brunch where you're probably having, she said, hair of the dog, having a mimosa together, having a couple waffles, having a couple eggs, and having just casual chat,
to chat
over
for like an
brunch,
hour.
and then be like, by the way, I'm not going to marry you and I don't want to be with you is wild behavior. And I think she wasn't more reactive because she was hungover.
Okay, interesting. I took it as I think she wasn't devastated that they were breaking up as much as she's devastated that she wasn't going to be married.
I agree.
That was, for me, it was more like a disappointment in the family.
Sure.
That was because she had a frustrated, she didn't have a sad Madison thing. She had a frustrated sadness, which gave me the vibe of like, you fucked up my plan.
Oh, for sure. Well, and I think that at the end of the day is exactly what it was like between these two.
Yeah.
I think it was
just a political marriage.
But I think it was Annie really wanted to just be married, and she would have married whoever devoted themselves the most to her. Nick asked first. He declared his love first.
Cool.
So
done.
she chose Nick because she wanted to be married.
Agreed.
I think ultimately maybe Nick wants to be married because he feels like he should at this point or whatever's going on. But I think the more I watch, the more I go, he's a luxury watch salesman. He wants his business to pop. He wants to get Instagram followers. I think this genuinely, and I think that's maybe why the whole cast was like, this guy smells like being disingenuous, smells like fake. I think the entire time it was like, I'm going to get famous no matter what. Maybe I'll get more famous because when you walk away as a couple, you get more followers.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll also get married, but I want to get famous.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sell some watches and I'm going to do some Instagram ads. And maybe I'll have my pretty wife with me and we'll do more together and it'll be like that political thing. That's what I think. But I think Annie wasn't doing it to get famous. I think Annie wants to get married, and this is a quick way to get married.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think that's what was going on. It was though, I couldn't
weird.
even, my jaw was on the floor. And after, when she was following him around, when he was packing up, that was wild to me too, where she was just like, this was your plan the whole time. And he's like, it was, and she's packing. I think the most dramatic part of the reunion will be Annie coming for Nick's throat.
Yeah, because she's got some spice.
She is going to make this the like violin
my
swan
arc,
song. It is going to be, and I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve to not feel sadness, but she's going to trust and believe. She's going to come for his throat, and I bet she's going to show up with receipts. She's going to come and she's going to have found stuff. It's going to be like Nick's going to get scorched. There's going to be no, oh, we're good now, unless she's married to someone else.
Oh, true.
That's my only caveat. If she's married to somebody else, it'll be like, I'm in love now.
Yeah, if she's got
he
a
doesn't
new
matter.
guy. Yeah, that's true.
But if she is not, he is about to get fried. Very much looking forward to this dynamic in the reunion.
Very good idea there.
Wild. I mean, you know how I've felt about this couple, and
it's such a strange,
icky vibe. Everything that they said in the pods, and just like all that.
I even forgot about all that stuff. Yeah,
bad. And so I'm very interested to see what has now come out since. We shall see. But let's move on with some other couples, but let's take a quick pause first, family. So I don't know about you, but I can struggle with holiday shopping. I can absolutely struggle with it. But this is one of those gifts that truly stops me in my tracks every single year, because when it comes to the people I love most, parents, grandparents, those please don't get me anything people, what actually matters are their stories. And that's why we always come back to Storyworth. I have gifted it to my parents, and reading their answers has been genuinely emotional in the best way. Things I never thought to ask, memories I didn't realize would mean so much to me. Storyworth helps you preserve those moments, not just for now, but for forever, which is so incredible.
Yeah, and the process is incredibly simple too. Each week, Storyworth emails a loved one a memory-provoking question that you get to choose. Questions like, what were your favorite toys as a child? Or what are you most proud of? All your loved one needs to do is respond to that email with a story. They can either write a story over email or record it over the phone for Storyworth. Just transcribe. It's so easy with no apps or passwords required. It's perfect for even your least tech-savvy relatives.
Yes, it's very, very true. Then after a year, Storyworth turns all of those stories plus photos printed in vibrant color into a beautifully bound keepsake book. Like, I'm talking a real, tangible family heirloom you'll come back to again and again. And what I love most is that it connects you while it's happening. Like, you're reading each other's stories as they're written, no matter how far apart you are. And this is something you can pass down for generations. Like, I'm going to be able to give the Storyworth book from my parents to Ember one day. And we did it with our grandparents as well. Like, it's legit family heirlooms. It's truly, truly precious. And this year, they added a bunch of new features to make storytelling even easier with personalized questions and magic editor. Meanwhile, their magic layout and new book designs make finished books and especially photos look even more beautiful. Plus, they've just rolled out Spanish language support. Storyworth has already preserved over 35 million stories, printed more than 1 million books, and has tens of thousands of 5-star reviews because it truly is incredible. So, if you're looking for a gift that actually means something, this is it. Give your loved ones a unique keepsake you'll all cherish for years. Storyworth Memoirs. Right now, save $10 or more during their holiday sale when you go to storyworth.com/momdad. That's storyworth.com/momdad to save $10 or more on your order. This is one you'll be grateful you gave, I promise. Okay, can we talk about Allie and Anton next? Let's talk Allie and Anton.
This is interesting.
This is very interesting because we see them in episode 10 start off post the party. And so they're coming home late night from the party.
Yeah.
From what we're aware of, I don't know. We didn't ever see her have like a full conversation with him after the lunch
after
with
the dinner
the friend,
lunch thing with the friend
where
and
they're
the
doing
partying in the strip
shots.
clubs.
Yeah, so
right. So they clearly did that off camera intentionally to kind of deal with that.
Probably, or
Probably
they just
by his
didn't
request.
show it to us. I don't know.
But clearly they worked through that enough to where the friend is no longer allowed in the apartment. Right? She goes, what's his name?
I think it's Patrick.
Yeah. She's like, was Patrick up here? Wait, in my apartment? Like, so
she's
clearly
like, get your
excommunication.
shot-drinking strip club friend out of our apartment.
There's visitation rights with Patrick.
Yes.
Patrick is allowed to be met in the lobby,
but not
in their home. So Patrick is a bad influence. She hates him, but they've been friends. So they met. They had a council meeting where he is now allowed visitation rights with Patrick outside of the home.
And to the point too, where when he did his tux fitting, he did not bring Patrick. Was not there. He brought his very kind of, buttoned up accountant friend who was like motivational speaker about their love.
So weird.
Yeah.
That was like some guy he met a week ago. Like that guy is hired by production. Yeah, he was not.
He's met him at work a handful of times. He wanted to have Patrick at that tux fitting, and Allie was like,
pouring
no.
the shots, everything.
Patrick would have made the tux fitting.
Oh my God, insane.
Wild. Maybe Joe wouldn't have left because Joe would have gotten drunk and then they would have gone to club afterwards.
Yes.
So
this clip is what I had kind of been waiting for, which is the bubbling booze conversation that clearly, because she was always like, interesting, a couple beers and interesting, okay, you had another beer this morning, okay, you normally don't do this, you go to strip clubs, you get wasted, you're having shots at lunch
2 in the afternoon.
You know what I mean? Before we've even gotten hors d'oeuvres, so it kind of reaches the crux here of okay, where's the 6-pack? Oh, that's gone.
She wants a drink after the party,
exactly.
Basically. And she's like, can I have one? And she sees that there's literally one left. And she goes, Anton, this was a 12-pack. Right. Where did they all go?
He's like, he does that guy thing where it's like, what did I think?
He's like looking at random covers. Did where could it be?
Steal them? That's so
Someone
weird.
Must have stolen
They left
them.
all our jewelry, but they stole the beer.
And then she's like, well, what about the 12-pack of Coors Light? He's like,
so
it's
weird.
gone. And she's like, Anton, what about the handle of tequila? And he goes and checks, and he's like, yeah, there's none left.
He goes, is it still in there? And he walks over and he goes, weird, it's not.
And then he blames her for drinking them. And she's like,
I think you did. She's like, I had 2 beers this last 2 weeks. Yeah, very, very funny in the way that he did the dumb guy moves, all the dumb guy moves in one conversation, which is like,
I don't
think
know.
about that.
And then he even said, he was like, well, Patrick came. And she's like, Patrick came? He's like, well, he was in the hallway.
Yeah.
And he's like,
so you're serving beers to your friends in the
hallway.
Like, what is happening?
And then he's like, yeah, I brought down
like one or something.
He goes, I brought down 4.
Yeah, 2
and
for
then
me,
he changed it. No, and then he changes it.
Yeah.
I brought down 1 each. So he's doing the panic thing.
What made me laugh is I don't remember exactly what they were talking about specifically in regards to the amount of drinks, but it was very funny when she's like, how often, like, are you, she's like, you've had like multiple cocktails this week or something like that. You know, like you've gotten home and had a cocktail. He's like, yeah, I could come home from work and every once in a while I'll have a beer or two, no big deal. And she's like, you don't see that as a problem? And I wrote down because I thought it was so funny. He lied about the amount of drinks he was having to her, reducing it.
Yes.
And then she goes, you don't see that as a problem? And in his mind, he's going, oh my God, it's way worse than that. Like I'm drinking way more than I'm lying to you about. Yeah. And she even sees my lie number as a problem. Well, and that's when I was like, oh, we're on different pages.
And we also hear too, because it's like, I don't want to then be like brash and too like haha about it. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we find out it's like been 10 days and all of that alcohol has been consumed. So, you know, I worry for Anton. I think that it's probably problematic. I think the issue is where we can be like, okay, like laugh, hee-haw is like him being an absolute party animal and her not knowing about it, and him being like, I'm not a party animal. I think now, and Allie's processing that, but I think now what's getting then like serious and deeper is, okay, there's, I think, actually an alcohol problem. Like this goes beyond you partying and you clubbing and that you're a party boy, but this is like, hey, in our own home now, I'm concerned.
Right, I'm concerned. She's concerned. She's
concerned, and rightly so, right? But
or even if it's not a concern for like, let's say like a problem,
right?
She clearly just doesn't like the lifestyle.
It's not her lifestyle.
It's just like, I don't want booze around the house. I don't want us drinking every day. You know what I mean? Like clearly that's not her vibe and she doesn't like it. So problem or not, it's truly just like he does this, she doesn't fuck with it at all.
And what I noticed is Anton always stays very calm.
Incredibly steady.
Incredibly steady, but in this conversation, he started doing the little flipski on her, where he got defensive. He's pointing the finger at her. Well, you do this. Yeah. Well, you drink.
You don't cook and clean.
And then he starts going like, he's like, well, I think someone, AKA you, might have been having more drinks than me tonight. Yeah. Basically saying,
he's trying to
you're drunk, Allie, and what you're accusing me of is because you're drunk and it's bullshit. Like, so he was doing.
He's like, I'm professional at this. You're not as professional.
He was
as I
doing
am.
the kind of manipulative, like, hey, it's actually your fault. Even though he stayed steady, he was still flipping the script on her when she was bringing a concern to him that she had. Now, throughout these 2 episodes, we meet his mom.
Yeah.
We also meet her mom.
Which are, they're kind of funny because they're both kind of carbon copies of each other, like the way that they both discuss relationships.
Yes.
They're like very traditional.
They
value traditions. They value Christianity. Mm-hmm. They're both very like, this is what you do. This is what the man does. This is what the woman does. It's very, so you could see their upbringings and you could see they're like, oh, okay. Moms are very much on the same page.
Moms want you to be Christian.
Exactly.
They want, they're vibing like
the
wanting Allie to stay home. Yep. No nanny, not her working, like him being, all
very
of that.
Classic. So that was interesting to see kind of their upbringing, and they both agreed with it.
They
both
did.
agreed with their moms.
They did.
Of like, that's what I want for our lives. So
now,
interesting.
Something I found curious in both in his mom's conversation, and then it got sprinkled in a little bit with the conversation with her mom as well, and more conversations with Allie as well, is that his mom was talking about how much he's changed himself.
Yeah.
About how much work he's put in to being a different man.
Right. And
he keeps referencing this. He keeps being like, well, it's not hard to come up from the very bottom. You were at the bottom, how he's changed his life. I have questions.
Yeah, it's very mysterious.
It's very mysterious. And I feel like Allie has questions too, because when he says this, he'll say that and then she'll go like,
in what way?
Well, she goes, well, what do you mean like the bottom? Like, what do you mean? I think that there's way more of a history there that he's letting on to about his partying ways. Because his mom was like, he's changed so much. He keeps alluding to this. And I have questions. Yeah. And so because it doesn't seem like he will have direct responses to it, I sense major, major problems for them in the future if these two end up getting married, because she clearly has a problem with that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I think that was way more of an issue than he's alluding to. And I think maybe it was way more recently.
Yeah. I personally get the vibe.
Yeah.
Remember the friend? Oh, he's a relationship guy? Anton? No way.
Yeah.
I personally get the vibe that about a year ago,
Yeah.
6 months to a year ago, and it had been for a long time, partying, hooking up,
Yeah.
low responsibility, can't be pinned down, not a great guy energy, because even self-admittedly says that. And this is kind of a new chapter for him, but it's fresh. It's not very practiced, and there's still a lot of like remainder stuff going on. He's very chill. He's very good at not ever flying off the handle, really, and keeping his shit together.
Absolutely.
So I think she sees potential in that. I think she likes that. But at the same time, this is where I'm really feeling the ick develop in her, which is like, she's kind of, you see her weighing options, because this is a note I wrote down at like the top of my sheet.
Yeah.
Which is, everyone keeps saying a relationship is all about work and sacrifice and death. You notice
Even
that?
the parents are being like,
Everyone's like, it's hell. It
parents.
fucking sucks. It's horrible. And you just got to stick it out until the day you die. And my favorite two people are Allie and Megan, because they're both like, or not.
or maybe we enjoy a relationship.
So what I think's going on with Jordan and Anton, I feel like are in a similar world with their ladies, which is, Jordan feels Megan's kind of out of his league with like the money and the success and the like lifestyle. I think Anton feels like Allie is like a little more grown up than him, very beautiful. It's kind of out of his leagues look wise. I feel like I feel like he kind of always and so what's happening with specifically Anton is you see him mentioning a lot this, I hope she doesn't leave me at the altar. I hope she doesn't bail on me. He's never saying I'm not committed. He's constantly saying about Allie, I'm afraid she's going to leave. I'm afraid she's going to leave. I'm afraid she's going to bail on me. So what I think is going on is he's trying to kind of shift things by going, you don't cook and clean, and I'm glad you admit that about yourself. Right? Nobody, but he's trying to find faults in her that he can kind of hold over her a little bit to even the playing field with his drinking and maybe his lack of responsibility, his past, whatever. And then there's also this level of like, he's going, oh, and by the way, a relationship, sacrifice, and you got to stick with each other no matter what. And then she's like, that's a fine line. I kind of like, maybe to kind of like be connected, and also like maybe there's some things, but like in general, we're great together. And he's trying to kind of sell her on the idea that like, never, don't leave me. Stick it out when it gets tough.
Interesting.
So I think he feels her slipping.
Yeah.
He's icking her out a little bit. So he's trying to kind of recreate the narrative. That's my whole take on their relationship right now.
Interesting.
Is that he's feeling the slippage. He's feeling like he's losing ground. She's losing the attraction to him. She's losing the majesty in him. And he's getting nervous about it. So he's trying to rewrite the story a little bit.
Okay. No, I think that like that totally makes sense to me.
And we'll talk about Jordan and Megan, but I think there's a little bit of the same thing going on, just a hair of the same thing as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think then from Allie's perspective too, when we saw a conversation with her mom was saying, Anton, in a relationship, your wife needs to be the one that you want to hang out with the most. You don't go hang out with your friends.
She knows.
You bring Allie.
Yeah.
You don't want to, you'd rather hang out with Allie than you want to hang out with your friends. Now, do I think there is a kernel of truth in that? Yes. I think it's so important to be, I think friendship is the most important thing in a long-term relationship, and I've stood by that and I will hold to that for forever. But I also think having your own autonomy and having friends outside of your relationship is also extremely important. My thought listening to that was Allie's being raised with mama who's saying, hey, your partner hangs out with you and you alone. doesn't, and so Allie already is feeling this like, well, Anton's a party boy and going and getting hammered with his friend and kind of hiding it from me. And then I have my mom who's telling me like that he should only ever really want to hang out with me and not go anywhere without me. So both of those things combined, I think Allie is just like, this is not going to work. Like, I think in her mind, she's like, for me, this is not what I'm looking for.
Also, I think Allie's mom was low-key like hella projecting.
I think so.
Clearly that she was like, by the way, don't buy black socks. It was like, what? It's like this specific ass like story. You know what I mean? Like, of like, don't hang out with your friends all the time. It's like clearly maybe dad, maybe a boyfriend had been like doing that. So it felt really specific.
Yeah.
But maybe she sensed in him too, kind of a party energy.
Well, and I think too, like when they met, it was noon and he hadn't arrived yet, and Allie like didn't know where he was.
That was kind of crazy too.
So I think there's probably a level too of mom being like, where? I just took my daughter wedding dress shopping. She's crying. She's so happy. And he's not showing up. And you know, Allie said to her, well, he kind of has a drinking thing and he parties with, she's telling.
She's so honest too, right? She's telling everybody everything.
Yeah.
So the singles party, she's telling everybody everything.
She's telling her mom all that stuff.
All the details.
So with the combination, they're an interesting one to me. Because they're the couple that I could see actually getting married.
Getting through it, not lasting, but getting through.
I don't think that they would last.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that with the two of them, I think that she knows that this isn't going to be, like you said, I agree. It's like Anton. And I'm the first to say, like, absolutely people can change.
100%.
Like 100%, he could be a party, wild boy, whatever.
At least when it comes to like discipline in your life.
And change his ways, and that might be the potential. But I also just get this creeping feeling that Allie doesn't trust him. And so you can't build a successful long-term relationship off of not trusting somebody. And I do also have a feeling that because we don't know what his past is, and they keep talking about how intense it was.
Does he putting on an act and then it's going to flashback?
I have a feeling that like something might come out at the reunion.
Interesting.
He's like the guy to me that might be like, oh, someone made a TikTok guy.
Sure. My favorite thing about him though, my favorite thing he does that makes me laugh so hard is when he starts like talking like platitudinally about men and the problem with men. It's my favorite. Because it's such a tell of like him, like he's like, men in this country are flaky. It's like, bro, you just showed up an hour late.
They say they're going to do something and they
don't do it while he's an hour late
to his mother-in-law's
meeting. You know what I mean? In like street clothes, right? Like not dressed up for the occasion at all. Just like in street clothes, just like, oh, sorry, I'm late. Going, men in this country are flaky. You know what I mean? I will not stand for that. And then like he's talking to like her about the booze at some point too. And he's like, men need to stand up and be strong. It's just very funny because it's like the person who goes to the gym once and they're like, the key to discipline in the gym is this. And they're like, dude, you just went to the gym first. What are you telling me for? Like, very funny to me. I just know these type of guys and they make me laugh because it's this. I watched a podcast once and now I know what it's like to do. I got my shit together. It's very funny.
Completely. And I think my guess is they're the one couple that I think might get married. I don't think they're going to. My guess is she'll leave him at the altar. Yeah. Because I think she'll panic all of a sudden and be like, I want something else.
I agree.
I want a guy who's...
She's like, wakes up from this dream. It's just like, what am I doing?
Yeah, it's like, I want a guy that I can feel like I can fully trust and we're on the same page. And then if he were to leave her at the altar, which I do not think would happen, but if he did, I think it is purely because it's a panic move because he doesn't want her
I quit the job first. You can't fire me. Yeah, I agree.
But I think he wants to marry her.
100%.
Yeah. Those are my thoughts.
Love it. I think we just nailed it.
Whew. I think we nailed that one.
Oh, yeah.
I feel pretty good about it. We'll see. We shall see. Okay, let's continue with the couples, but we got to take one more quick pause, family. So I know we heard Jordan talking chicken smoothies last week. But listen, for me, generally 5:30 p.m. rolls around and I'm staring into the fridge like it's going to reveal a secret door where I don't have to be creative and think of what we should eat tonight. That used to be my nightly struggle. And then Hungry Root entered the chat. Hungry Root has completely changed how we do food during the week. You take the super quick quiz about what you like, any health focuses, your lifestyle, whether you're gluten-free, dairy-free, high protein, gut health focused, all of it. And then their Smart Cart builds your weekly food plan for you. It's not just what should I cook? It's what actually works for my real life. And honestly, it just keeps getting smarter the more we order. Between work, parenting, life, everything, deciding what everyone wants to eat every single night was draining me, if I'm being completely honest. Now, Hungry Root sends exactly what we need: fresh ingredients, sauces, snacks, and meals that come together fast and actually taste good. I have reclaimed my evenings. More couch, less chaos. I love it. I'm obsessed with Hungry Root, and the meals are so good. They're so delicious.
Yeah, Hungry Root really does take all the guesswork out. You don't have to plan, shop, or rethink your entire personality every time dinner rolls around. Their Smart Cart recommends recipes and groceries tailored to you, and their variety is wild. They've got over 50,000 chef-crafted recipes to choose from, and a ton of them are ready in 15 minutes or less, which is crucial. And the quality actually matters too. Hungry Root screens out over 200 additives, things like high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, and preservatives. They use hormone and antibiotic-free meat and seafood and organic produce, non-GMO options, and a bunch of trusted brands we already love. So it's convenient and you feel good about what you're eating, especially this time of year. It saves us money by cutting down on food waste, and it saves us time by not making another grocery store run happen, which we didn't want to do in the first place.
I am officially obsessed. And also, for me personally, because of some health issues, I've needed to eat with an anti-inflammatory focus. And that just felt very overwhelming to me because I didn't know where to start. Well, Hungry Root has completely taken care of it for me. I'm so grateful. It's been an absolute game changer, like genuinely. And they can handle the grocery shopping for you too. It's amazing. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/momdad and use code MOMDAD. That's hungryroot.com/momdad, code MOMDAD, to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. Okay, let's discuss Kalybriah and Edmond next. This is rough. Oh, gosh.
This whole thing with them hasn't been very funny or awesome. It's been mostly just kind of sad
and hard
and kind of
like
weird and
to
just
watch.
kinda,
It's like, oh God, it just hurts. It just hurts. So the last we left them off, they got into it and got into a big argument at the Western Rodeo party. And remember how she had said, you know, don't come over and say you love me. You could tell me what you did wrong. And we didn't know what had gone down. And I was like, I think they must have had an argument before and something happened. We didn't know. Well, we end up finding out what exactly happened. Yeah. So apparently Kalybriah had said that she was super slammed with work. She was busy running around getting a bunch of stuff taken care of. And they needed to get a couple like costume things for the rodeo party. And she texted Edmond, was like, hey, you're at home not doing anything. Can you run out and get like a bandana or a cowboy hat or whatever? And Edmond was like, no, I don't think so. And she was like,
it was something like, I have a haircut or something, I don't want to be late. It was something
that
like,
you didn't want to be late.
I'm not going to go out of my way at all to make this happen.
And she was like, I'm juggling a million things for us, and I want to get home and get ready, but you don't want to be late to your getting ready.
Sure.
And so you're not going to go 10 minutes out of your way to quick grab us something, which is really selfish.
And it really kind of is the vibe in general, right? Yeah. Like, remember when they're in the snow and then he, you know, she goes, she's driving him, by the way.
Yes.
So he's on the back. So already just like,
he's just enjoying the view. Yeah.
And then she goes and gets them hot chocolate.
She's like trying to like make her way through the snow.
And then he won't even help her down. She goes, thanks for the hand.
He's just enjoying the view. He's just looking at the view. Funny. And he's just like, so beautiful.
Yeah. And he's like, why are you giving me such a hard time? So she's obviously like that. That's clearly the dynamic is kind of that thing we were talking about where like it's giving mother, it's giving like she's taking care of everything. She's kind of helping him through everything. And she always said in the past, I always had like the alpha guy. So she's been struggling with this clearly, and it's not getting better. And
if we remember her conversation when they were in Mexico, when she was like, if some guy came up to me at the club and said this, would you stand up for me? So he was like, no. So she wants a guy who's going to be super like, this is my woman and I'm getting the hot chocolate and I'm driving the thing. And Edmond is not going to be that guy.
I think she was hoping for more of a hybrid than she got. I think that's the reality, right? Yeah. It's like she's always with like manly men. who don't show their emotion, who aren't expressing themselves.
Yeah.
Now I
Or
get this guy.
masculine guys,
Now I get this guy that's super expressive. So I'm really hoping for a nice hybrid here, where maybe
Right.
he will fight the guy that
Yeah,
to
who
defend
hits
my
on me.
honor
Yeah, sure,
and help
sure.
me out the door, but then at the same time can share his emotions. And what she's finding is that he's more the opposite
Yes.
of what she's normally
Well,
used to.
and
And
like-
so it seems like just too much.
And like we've discussed before, his big thing is wanting to receive love and affirmation. And so for him, it's like he's going to be wired in the way that he's not going to get into it with a guy at the club because he wants everything to be good and everyone to like him and for everyone to be happy. I even noticed at the tux fitting, his two friends that were there, the woman was like, Edmond just wants everyone to be happy
Right.
and for everyone to love him.
Right.
And so that's like his journey,
Yes.
right? And so in this conversation, she's just like, well, I just want you to apologize instead of just being like, I love you, I love you, I love you. Do you understand what set me off with the Nick and Annie conversation? And what set her off wasn't that he had said that it must be nice to hear that you're perfect. She's like, it's the fact that you said it in front of everybody.
Which is a big trigger for her. Because
Yeah.
she's the one that earlier said, don't compare our relationship to anybody else.
Yes.
So she's very sensitive about
Don't.
don't bring out our shit into everyone else's
So
life. You know?
she's like, so you said it in front of everybody after we had this confrontation, you hadn't helped me out, and then we get to the party, and even through the confrontation, I'm taking photos of you, I'm encouraging you when you're on the bowl in front of everybody, and then you bring this personal thing that we haven't hashed out in front of everyone, and everyone is awkward, right? So it's just the dynamic, and then so she's just like, apologize for it, and he's like, I don't know what to apologize for, and it was just, these two are just missing each other constantly, and that ends up moving. I did find it interesting too, side note, when she was wedding dress shopping, Vanessa asks one of her best friends,
I know what you're talking about.
how do you think about, what do you think about Edmond? And she goes, he's very different, unique in his own way. And I was like, okay.
Oh boy.
So
She knows it's not a good match for her friend.
yeah, she's like, no, I don't think this is going to work.
Super interesting. It was a Joe compliment.
It was a Joe compliment.
Very
He's
unique.
very unique, interesting. So then they end up going into the snow, like you were saying. They're like snowmobiling around.
Yeah.
She's driving it, brings the hot cocoa. He's not helping her. And she's just then like, she's done.
Because they're clearly having the same conversation every day too, which that is the most frustrating thing ever, is when you're having the same fight every day.
Of course.
That's what, you know what I mean? That's when it's truly, it's systemic, it's deep, and you're just done with the person.
But what was interesting that she brings up is she right away goes, you are completely different in front of the cameras.
That was really interesting.
Than you are when they're not
She
on
called
you.
his ass out hard.
And so I'm so curious because she brought up the fact that he was like in the car and he got upset that the Bachelor theme wasn't going to be what he liked or something. And then he was
a cowboy bachelor party theme.
But we don't really hear the details of what it looks like, how he's different on camera and off, other than
it sounds like it sounds like he throws fits. And then another thing is that he's over the top excited on camera. So I think it's like he's more moody.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden when the cameras come on, he's Mr. Nice Guy. I think what's going on is then she's being real for both camera and not camera. So I think there's also this level too of like, hey, I'm trying to be real with you. And then you're kind of performing this nice, happy routine in front of everyone.
And the audience is going to see
the audience / the friends / everyone's going to see me being like hard on you or something. When reality is you're flip flopping, which is super frustrating because I can't get a real read. But what it was interesting because what she was complaining about in the car to me like showed a lot, because it was a true testament of like, not a one specific thing. It's not a, you did this wrong thing, I need you to apologize for it, and then we're good. Mm-hmm. It's like the way you are, the way you communicate. Because her thing was that I was trying to chime in on the issue and you kept cutting me off.
Yeah.
That's annoying. But that's not enough to really rattle you.
And then let's be real, in this conversation, she wasn't letting him talk.
Not at all.
So it wasn't like
It wasn't. No. This wasn't like she was giving an example and being a good example for what she wants. This is strictly your existence is bothering me and making me very frustrated. And anything you do at this point, I'm feeling it.
And I think that is the bottom line.
It's like when your body rejects someone.
And it's the bottom line with these two. When I was listening to them this conversation too, and then, they're frustrated. They're in this fight. She ends up calling him a bitch. It was like, whoa, it just escalated. And then the next day he shows up with flowers and he's like, you've made me a better person. And she's like, the thing is, and he throughout the conversation too was saying like, I need you to tell me the good things that I'm doing and to accept me and love me.
He's like, before you smack me, tell me something good. That was his analogy, he said.
So I think that 100% what's going down is that she, like we've said over and over again, does not want to be with him. She wants to be with the idea of who Edmond is, but in all reality, I don't think she's into him. The issue then is that I do think, and I can understand then where, I'm not saying that what Edmond's doing off camera is okay, but I can understand then where he's feeling frustrated because as a viewer, it feels like he can't do anything right. Like everything he brings up or everything he says, Kalybriah is like, no, it should be this way. I want to love you the way you are, but actually I want it to be this way. I want it to be this way. So there's this feeling of like, okay, she doesn't love me for me. And then that's Edmond's biggest trigger point is needing to be loved. So you have somebody who clearly probably ultimately does not want to really be with him, just maybe the idea 100%. Of him and is but then she's frustrated because she's having to mother him because he's being immature. Yes. And so she's having to like help process all these things
with him and be like, hey, tripling the problem.
It's just the tension between these two is like so uncomfortable because I think like we've said before, at least from everything we've seen, I think inherently they're both nice people. Of course, they have their issues. We all do. But there's just two people who bring out the worst in each other.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think that we're really seeing like the ocean between them, which is like they couldn't be more different.
Yeah.
What he needs, she's not giving in that way. You could tell that she is, her strengths, you could tell are like, that she takes care of things. She's a badass, but she doesn't
social worker too, right?
But she doesn't seem like big on the like, Mrs. Encouraging all day, right. Words of aff. Like that just doesn't seem like her strength. Her strength is like taking care of shit. And he seems like his biggest need is words of aff mixed with their emotional differences, mixed with their different maturity differences. Now, I will say the biggest issue for Edmond is his roller skating. Because we've been hearing about this roller skating for
rollerblading, I believe. Yeah.
Rollerblading for a long time.
Yes.
Since day one, it was like, it's my life. It's my community. It's what I do. I mean, it is my obsession. My dream is to do it all day. Yeah. And so then in my mind, I see people on Instagram shredding. I see the roller skating, rollerblading, when they're like videos. Dancing and they're vibing, they're back and forth and splits and the whole, I mean, I'm ready for some fireworks here. Okay. He's been talking. I mean, anyone who talks this much about anything, it's like if I'm like, my life is golf. I mean, you're expecting me to be quite the golfer.
Yes.
Underwhelming is not the statement I wouldn't even qualify for. I mean, he did little jumps and he like turned once.
He kind of went backwards a couple of times.
He like shuffled his feet. And you could see like she was being encouraging, but at one point she goes like, show me show me your thing. And he's like, just go. It was truly like, to me, the nail in the coffin. I was like, there's no coming back from this. We are too far gone. Like she could keep up with him skating around. And I was like, this is your life, bro. Yeah. So tough look for me. I don't know if it bothered her, but it was tough for me. I was like, bro, it was definitely one of those things. We need to be a lot more impressive to be talking about this.
I want to encourage everyone to, if you love something, and even if you're not great at it, just have a blast.
But say that.
But
say I love it, but I'm not very good at it, but I love it. But don't go.
Not a pro.
But don't go. Oh my God, it's my life. And then it's like I'm out there hacking into the woods and being, I love golf, and I can't even get it to like. I was expecting a lot more. I'm super sorry to put that on you, Edmond, but like we do need to kind of preface a little bit of this next time.
But he seemed to be he was having the time of his life, and he was very excited to be sharing that moment with her. So it left us off on a high note for them because he then, he had come back, he had brought the flowers, he had said, "You are making me a better man." And then she said to him too, she apologized for her part in it. And she's like, "You are also making me a better person because I'm becoming more patient." Do I think you're making
That's
me
really funny,
actually? You're trying
that's actually
my patience.
really funny to use as a compliment.
Yeah.
To be like, what are your favorite things about me? It's that you help me deal with patience. And I go to therapy now, learning how to be more patient with you. So I've learned so much being with you. It's like, interesting. Is that a compliment? Or is that more you complimenting yourself?
You're like,
about how much of a misery this is.
Yeah, you're like, I'm having to deal with you every single day. Now, I believe that she makes him better and that he makes her better. I believe it, but there's a difference between a person in your life as a friend who can help you grow versus marrying somebody.
100%.
And they should not be getting married to each other.
I don't think they like each other for who they are. I think that he likes the kind of mothering aspect in vibe he gets from that. And I think that she doesn't like him at all.
I think she likes
to say it, but it kind of feels like that.
I think she likes that he's emotionally tapped in, that he's sensitive, but also that's come with problems for her.
Big time.
Because
it's too much.
He's, some of the things that come with sensitivity as a sensitive person, I'll say this myself. Some of the things that come with sensitivity is that there are certain things that we need in a relationship, right? And that's maybe not what she's looking for. 100%. So it's just.
This is for sure. Kettle is boiling. I don't see them getting through. I don't see her saying yes. He will 100%. But
I don't know, Evan.
I don't know. I think he will. I think he's kind of in that zone where he's like, I don't want, like he keeps saying like, I'm all in on you. I'm really like, don't leave. Like, I feel like he's a lot more into just the wanting a companion, wanting someone to make him feel like good. And I think she's a lot more like in that practical, is this going to work mode. I think there's no way they make it to a yes.
No, and if they do and they're still together, blessings to you both.
Yeah,
I just don't. There's no way.
There's no way.
And at least as the audience viewing it is not a healthy dynamic together. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It's tough.
Okay, let's talk about our last couple.
Yeah.
Sparkle and Jordan.
Sparkle and Jordan,
who, like we've said numerous times before, I believe actually are the most likely to be able to make it work, but there are too many mountains.
And those mountains are getting bigger every time we see them.
Yeah.
And again, they treat each other really well. Mm-hmm. They're very sweet, very respectful, very grown up, in their energy. But it's interesting. Because I thought the whole time it was going to be the money lifestyle issue, which it is, right? That's a big one.
It is, yeah.
It's the her being like, this house isn't nice enough. It's her being like, I want to do nice dinners. It's her. She says in that conversation, hey, I want to go to Vail on a Wednesday and go to a beautiful dinner on a Friday. He's so not used to that bougie lifestyle that he's like having sushi for the first time kind of energy. He's absolutely not acclimated or familiar with the bougie lifestyle. He doesn't know a lot about it. She's very much into it. So already there's just two different lifestyles is tough, right? So when it comes down to kind of taste, conversation, she probably likes talking about the caviar compared to that other place. She probably likes talking about architecture.
Yeah.
She likes talking about business, which I thought was really interesting, right? She likes to be like, at the end of the day, I want to talk about business. And I didn't get the way of like, I need you to vent emotional to me as well. It was more of like I want to hear about like what your business is doing and what's going, like she's a go-getter, super smart business badass. And she's probably used to dating other badasses. And so there's this, like, that's what we connect. We have similar interests.
Well, it's the grind set mindset. She's used to dating grind set mindset guys.
Yeah, and she's been like, that's what I'm trying to get her weight of.
And because a lot of the grind set mindset guys are very toxic.
100%.
But
super similar paired interest. So there's probably a lot of stimulation there.
Yeah.
So now she's got this guy who's, again, opposite vibes. But I can sense in him kind of he's not into the stuff. It's one thing to be like unfamiliar and be like, oh, teach me your ways. It's another to be kind of like, huh? And I feel like he's kind of has that energy because it's almost a defense mechanism to kind of maybe feeling insecure about the fact that he doesn't know all these worldly things that she knows. He doesn't seem to be kind of excited about learning these things. It almost seems like he's kind of like, I don't like it, and it kind of makes me feel left out.
He has also too. There could just be like a, hey, I like my life like how it is.
100%.
I don't find this type of stuff interesting.
Exactly.
Right.
So we're really seeing the lifestyle thing. I think she's been cosplaying this kind of. She's been trying on this like chill, humble lifestyle.
Sure, the not millions and millions out.
Yeah,
dollar
and
house.
also like responsibility with his kid and like slower life, all this stuff. And I think she's really starting to feel a little panic set in of like, I thought this was I thought maybe he'd be down for more than I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But we have a new thing.
We've got a new thing.
And the new thing is he doesn't talk.
Yes. So at the end of
Which we
episode
didn't really
11,
see coming.
she brought it up a couple times earlier. They had a date. So they had a date at one point at Kimosabi's, which, by the way, you don't know about this because you don't watch The Real Housewives, but iconic Real Housewives location.
Love it.
Okay. Everybody who watches Real Housewives, like they saw Kimosabi and they're like, oh my God, some shit went down there. Anyway, when they were there, she's like, let's get these hats. And by the way, Kimosabi, pricey. This is like, you're getting a hat.
Which is also another thing he probably is not liking, the fact they're spending $500 on a hat and it's custom made, very
you put
bougie.
a feather in it, you're branding it, and God bless, I'm all about whatever fashion choice you want, but that hat on him, it didn't work. It was like a flat brim, like it just
very funny.
It just didn't. The hat was wearing him, and I think it was an example of like this isn't for him.
The lifestyle's wearing me.
It's not for him, and so when they're sitting there having this conversation, and she's talking about like, you know, which house she's looking at, and she's concerned with the numerology of the address. So she's like, the address that I choose, when you add up the numbers, it has to be a 6 because 6 represents this, and I had been 7 before, which was success, and da-da-da. And he's looking at her
he's nodding off,
and that is some rich people shit.
100%.
There is nothing more rich people,
or it's some like Malibu shit. It's one of the two. It's either rich people shit or like I'm struggling. And like, there's two types of people that say that kind of thing. It's rich people shit, or it's like I'm really struggling, so I got to like give meaning to everything.
But it's still Malibu.
100%.
And if you're not rich, you're like, what place can I actually afford in this economy?
You're absolutely right.
I'm not worried.
I don't have the money to be changing the house up on the address.
I'm like, I'm just grateful that I was able to get this spot.
You're absolutely
versus adding numbers
when you're rich enough to
together.
be able to like choosing between the house on the block because of the number. Very
that's
funny.
Some serious rich people shit. And he's looking at her sideways a little bit. He's like, yeah, I don't get it.
He's like, this is the width between us is widening.
He's like, are you really gonna make a choice?
And
on
then
like
the tarot card reader, he's like, what?
When the tarot card reader goes, I heard you. She goes, I heard you don't believe in my people.
She's like,
he's like, no. So she's super spiritual. She's super woo. He brought this up. So there's that disconnect happening too. But when they were at their date afterwards at Kimosabi, she made a comment about like how he doesn't talk to her. And
she brought up a great point later, which was our whole thing was connecting in the pods, which is talking.
Yeah, it's all talking.
Right? Like that's the thing that brought us together. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that you're hot and rich. It wasn't that, you know what I mean? It's like not the things that maybe my past would have brought me to. It's like I went on a limb because I wanted to talk to someone. Yeah. And I found someone who talks to me.
And you were funny and
you
chatty
were sweet
and charming
and funny and all these things. And then we get home and all of a sudden you never talk to me. This is where I really felt bad for her. Because in my mind, I'm going, yeah, you've like kind of been willing to make all these sacrifices for his lifestyle, being like, we can move into a new place together. I'm now like connecting with your son, which is a whole new level of responsibility and love, but it's also like a lot of difference there. I'm willing to move with you. And like, she's making all these kind of like growths to connect with him. And he's kind of just tired after work. I personally was a little bit like, that was tough for me. That was tough for me. Cause I was kind of like, bro, like, it's not like you're, lifting weights all day or you're like hauling hoses. It's like you're just in an office and you're saying, I talked a lot today and I don't want to talk to anyone. I do feel like you owe it to your partner to be able to have a conversation with them. Like, I don't know. It felt like a little bit.
If you're not talking and you're 3 weeks in.
And she said, it's not like it happens once. It's like it's every time. And then you just say you're tired. And it's like, listen, there is a level of like, you have to talk to your partner. You can't be sitting there at dinner not talking for hours. Like, that's where I felt like he was being kind of maybe backing off, maybe kind of removing himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, was he is he looking for an out? I don't know. It was interesting.
It is interesting. But I will say too, I completely agree with you and I hear you. But then on the flip side, I did feel for him too, because, you know, it sounds like his work is tiring, and she acknowledged that whatever he's doing is exhausting. And then also, you know, he's a dad and they talked about it. So Megan ended up meeting Luca off camera. They had like a slumber party at the house, but she was talking about how intense it was because his like alarms were going off and they were needing to check in on him and you know, being a parent with a child who has like a chronic illness, like I genuinely cannot even imagine. My heart, when she was discussing that and then hearing him talk about it, it's like, oh my God, like the shout out to the parents who are there for their kids, like going through that. I have one kid who doesn't have that. I am exhausted all the time, right?
Yes.
And then you also have the cameras, you're planning a wedding, you're meeting new people, you're tired. And so, but then he also has his child. So
there's no doubt there exhaustion is prevalent.
So I felt the like that feeling of like, I can't give anymore right now. The camera's in my face constantly. There's so much going on. So I didn't blame him for that. I felt like, I agree with you, like I said, to a certain extent too, where it's like, hey, you need to be able to like have a conversation with your person. But I don't know, watching their back and forth, and then especially the way that then they had the conversation where they were speaking to each other. I felt like then when he was like giving her a hard time, where I was like, Jordan, I feel like she speaks to you very gently and very understandingly and like all that stuff.
She's pretty fucking understanding.
But I felt like they both care about each other. And so watching that dynamic made me sad, because it just felt like when she was saying, I've worked really hard for this lifestyle and I want to be able to
enjoy it,
you know, go on a trip and whatever. And then he's saying, he's like, yeah, that I can't. Yeah. I am a dad. I have Luca I need to take care of. The idea of taking a 5-year-old to Italy is exhausting. Yeah. Like I can't do that.
I don't, yeah.
And so it's like I felt for both of them watching it, being like, shit.
This is the moment. This is the moment when you realize we are just not built for this together.
Right. It's like you love each other, but it's just the mountains and a different lifestyle.
But I don't think he's too tired to talk to her. I think she makes him anxious, and so he shuts down.
Interesting. Okay.
That's what I think it is.
Okay.
I think the more she talks, the more he gets anxiety. Oh, she wants to go to Vail. She wants to do this. She wants to go here. She wants to buy this cool shit. She wants to have a nice house. She wants all these things that she can provide for herself, but it makes me feel less than. It makes me feel like the ocean between us is bigger. I get anxious. I shut down. I think he's anxious avoidant with her. I think if they were on the same page, they'd be talking a lot more. I think it's an anxious thing. I think when we go to dinner and she starts talking and then she's telling me all this cool shit or, you know, bringing up stuff I don't know, I think it makes me anxious. Yeah. I think the more she talks, the wider the gap gets.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because throughout this episode, we did hear him after she met Luca. He was like, I am 110% in. He was saying that at the tux fitting. He was saying that to Nick. He was like, I am 110% in. She seemed to me to be the one pulling back a little bit, where she was like the realization of, you know, what life would look like being a stepmom. And as much as she's like, I have adored Luca, like in the moments that we've had together, but like this. And I think rightly so. Like, of course. You better fucking know.
Oh.
That you're
what you're in for.
You better fucking know that, like, and I'm not talking just about her. I'm talking about Jordan too. Yeah. Before you guys tie the knot, when there is a child involved,
it's so much more massive.
and you're bringing in the emotions of the child, like, you better know that this is like a thing that you're like, you know, you're stepping into and you're committing 100%. To. So this poor kid's not getting like, you know, pulled left and right, feeling like, oh, I've gotten this new person and then they're gone. Like, I mean, this is so much more. So I just feel like it's too serious for it to work for them. Yeah. And I think that they're both aware and reasonable people that
Yeah.
they will not go through with it because of that.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Maybe they'll keep dating. Maybe they'll stay together and be in a relationship and like try a long distance thing.
I also think she just needs a higher frequency. I think she's got a lot of energy. She's got a lot of drive. She's a badass. She wants to go in the like. You don't run companies, make millions of dollars, and then turn off.
Yeah.
She wants to go.
Yeah.
And he's chill. He's chill family guy.
Yeah.
He wants to get home, have a beer,
Yeah.
tuck his kid in, watch a little movie, go to bed. She's like, no, I want to go out. I want to have a dinner. I want to go to this event. I want to go do this art gallery. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Well, we shall see. I'm not going to lie to you. Hard watch these 2 episodes.
But interesting.
Interesting.
I was very stimulated by
I was
the
very
watch.
stimulated too, and it actually brought up a lot of like past things for me where I would like see myself in different conversations or arguments or see friends be like, oh yeah, they went through that. Like it definitely was interesting, but it wasn't easy.
No.
So I'm not expecting the weddings and the reunion to be easy either.
Negative. No one's together at that reunion.
So we shall see. We shall see, which will come out on Friday.
Yes.
On a final note, like we just talked about some extreme. We went hard and talked about some serious stuff and talked shit for like 2 hours. Yeah. Can I have a moment for a shout out corner?
Love it.
Because
what's this?
I have, recently been like feeling very grateful for certain people and things in our community.
Okay.
And so if you're living in Los Angeles, I kind of wanted to give a shout out.
Okay.
Is that
Shout
okay?
out.
Okay, so I want to give a shout out to Dr. Kim in Glendale, who is a dentist, who has started to work on all of my dental issues. I got a bunch of oral surgery done a couple days ago. I'm getting a bunch more done in a few days. I have never had a dentist who made me not scared of dental work, and I'm like doing great afterwards.
Amazing.
So Dr. Kim in Glendale is a literal saint and an angel. Shout out number 2 to Lumen Optometrics in Sierra Madre. Okay. You all know a little bit about my keratoconus. I think it has been a journey because we live in a horrible system with our healthcare. And so insurance won't cover things. It's a nightmare. And so it's been a long journey, and I need to get my eyes fixed because I see 4 of everything right now and I can't see anything. And Lumen Optometrics, amazing. Sitting, working with me. I think I'm actually going to be able to like see again. And I could cry talking about it. They're amazing. So shout out to them. Shout out to Little Ripper, which is a local coffee shop, and it's owned by a husband and wife, and they're amazing. Yeah. Go check them out. I know these are all LA, but like shout out to them. They're great. It's an awesome community there. I love them. Yeah. A nice coffee, a nice breakfast. I go and I do my work there. And shout out to Theater 360. It is a youth theater company in Pasadena.
Amazing.
And family, we have looked far and wide for youth theater programs. They are the best, no question.
100%. They're the best.
The best community. They're so like inclusive, and it's a community, it's a family, and the things that the kiddos are learning. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Also, they always have a show around the holidays, and we always go and see it. So if you're in the area, they're doing the Music Man right before Christmas. Yeah. We'll be there. They always put, the shows are incredible. I feel like I'm watching a professional performance, and art is so important right now in what's going on in our country. Like the arts is so important. So to see these like passionate youth, like diving in, it's amazing.
Amazing. Absolutely.
Oh, and last, on a personal note, sorry, I'm like, I could do a whole podcast on this. On a personal note, this is even if you're not in the LA area, because I know those other ones were LA area. On a personal note, a dear friend of ours, her name is Elle. She has become like a adopted mother to us. Her and her family, they're our LA family.
Absolutely.
They've taken us in.
Love
they are
them
literally
dearly.
everything to us. She's like a mother to us. She just started her own podcast.
Yes.
She started her own podcast. There's one episode out. It's on Spotify. I think it's only on Spotify right now. It's Gen XL, like Gen XLELL, raised on reruns. She has one episode out. It's great. I'm so excited for her. She's just the best. If you want to check that out.
It's very like calming, nostalgia meets NPR energy. It's fantastic.
It's like
she's
a
very
story
good.
that she's winding you through, and her first episode is about holiday reruns and specials like the Peanuts.
And if you're in that age group, I think you'll really connect. And if not, if you're a younger person, let's say you're in your 20s, there's a good chance your parents would absolutely love
I
it.
connected with it because our age, we're like elder millennial, and I was like, oh, I remember seeing all these and the reruns and having to wait for television to come out.
Or even if you don't even care about the content, just listening to her talk is actually very very relaxing as well.
She's the best. We love her so much. So check out
spin.
Gen XL Raised on Reruns. It's on Spotify. Those are my shouts outs.
That was really great shouts outs.
So yeah, Gen XL Raised on Reruns, Theater 360, Dr. Kim.
I mean, these are great.
Lumen Optometrics, Little Ripper. I'm just great.
I like your grateful vibe.
I'm grateful for all of those people and those companies in my life right now. So
that's beautiful. Well, shout out. Last night I had a couple goals, and it's because I changed sticks. So shout out to my stick. Yes. I used an older stick.
Okay.
Because I was having trouble. So a buddy of mine gave me a new stick.
Okay.
As much as I wanted it to work, because it's such a cool stick, it didn't really work for me. I used an old stick. I was lights out. Shot was killing it at a couple goals. So I just want to shout out to kind of that whole journey for me.
Love that. I love that for you.
That's my side.
You ice skating, maybe you and Edmond can connect. Maybe he can show you how to rollerblade. You can show him how to ice skate. You guys can.
I might be better than him on the rollerblades. I'm just saying. Like, I'm not saying it, but I'm kind of saying
That's his life. Don't even say that.
So sorry. But I would
We're
never
sorry,
call
Edmond.
you. Anyway. Love you all.
We love you all. We'll see you on Friday.
All right. Bye.
Bye.